Please, no gifts, please. The parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey, everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Anchondo.
Always lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm getting excited about spring break.
Well,
are you guys spring breaking? Are you?
Well, I guess by the time this airs, we will have spring broken.
We will have broken. Are we taking spring break off?
No, we've got an episode that's running there. We talked about indoor play places.
I really need to get my act together.
Yeah,
really.
Okay.
Just, am I still employed here?
I'll tell you what.
Will you keep me?
We were kind of joking, or catching up about this in the break. I mean, it's busy. We're both busy people, and it's hard to sometimes kind of keep track of stuff. And speaking of keeping track of stuff, I took the kids for a physical yesterday. My mom was kind of getting on me. She was like, "Hey, you're supposed to bring your kids to the doctor once a year to make sure that everything is like
right." Do you not schedule
good.
It the year before when you?
Here's the thing about my doctor's office, and we love our pediatrician. But I also have not seen this man in years.
Oh, same.
Like, what is going on?
They're only at the orientation when you're pregnant or like expecting a baby, and they tell you about their practice, and then they just totally bounce.
Right. Like, what is the point of us having you as the doctor if I cannot get an appointment with you?
I see mine, and sometimes I feel like he's in the office.
Oh, I saw him, and we had a lovely chat.
Well, we don't, because he doesn't know who I am, because this was 8 years ago when we first met. And I always wonder, like, we've had a couple serious issues, and I'm like, what would indicate you would actually meet with us?
Right. How bad does it have to get?
How bad does it have to get?
And this guy, I think he's just busy. Like, it's a busy practice. But frankly, you can't make an appointment more than 3 months in advance. So, okay, like I'll set my timer, for my, thing. Cause it's not, cause it's not like,
do it for the next year.
Right. It's not like the dentist where like you go in and they're like, "Oh, we'd like to see you 6 months from now." And you're like,
okay, mine is like that.
Great. Like, let's do it. No, you don't do that, which I'm kind of like, why not? Like, why not? Why can't we just make the appointment for a year from now, But I mean, again, all of the doctors are qualified. So, and I was thinking about it when I was
wait, you get to see other actual doctors, though.
Oh yeah. And sometimes I'm just like, just give me a nurse.
Great?
Just give me a nurse practitioner.
We always get a nurse practitioner.
With all due respect to nurse practitioners, I mean, again, we're not, it's a physical. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's, I feel like we should at least check in with a MD every now and
occasionally.
Again. Everything went fine. They're both, I was like, hey, like Hudson doesn't love protein. He doesn't love to eat. Like, I'm concerned about how, that he's not growing. And the guy was like, he's fine. Like, you're good. Both of them are great. Their trajectory is wonderful. Their curve, excuse me. Their curve is, we're just going to bleep that out. It's been a day.
This just shows the status.
Their blurb, their curve is where it needs to be. Right. And it was good. It was all good. And they got us in and out. I will say that. Like, I got there early and they took us and we were gone, honestly, by the time the appointment was supposed to start, because we were like 20 minutes early and they had us in and out of there. So,
oh, that's amazing. Look at you showing up 20 minutes early.
Well, because I was worried about traffic, because it was, I've got to pick you up early from school and we've got to get across town, and 75 could be a parking lot or it could not. And it happened to not be, and that kind of thing. But here's the thing about all of that is, there's really nobody, and we've talked about this before on the show, but there's nobody who, I mean, a doctor's appointment is one thing because you're supposed to go, but there's no one who's like, hey, here's this new milestone, right? Like we've talked about this before. Like, both of my children essentially have a valet, which is me. Like, I pick out their clothes. I dress them in the morning. Sometimes I physically put their clothes on them, right? They're 7 and 9.
That milestone is...
Like, I probably should stop doing that.
I think the doctor forgot to tell you, but I'm as web MD, friend MD.
Yeah.
They have to start doing that. Although, I mean, like, I say that, but then I also will say they don't have a uniform at school. So you picking out their clothes, I think, is totally normal still at this age. But there's nothing. It's not like you're going to wear some like offensive concert T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like just like matching cute. Yeah. Is that the expectation when you have two, like, well-dressed dads? Well, and they're right, and they're boys. So like even so, I'll tell you, we were the other day. It was a rainy weekend, right? And we were hanging out, and whatever else, and it was kind of like, oh gosh, we're it's raining, we're indoors, we don't want to be sitting in front of a screen all day. And Hudson's like, oh, it's raining and I want to go outside. And I was like, what? Why don't the two of you put your rain boots on and go play in the yard, go play in the rain, which generally even that, and
it came from when they were younger because of the pool. We would always be out there with them at all times. And now it's like, you know what? You're 7 and 9. Go play in the yard by yourselves. Backyard, front yard, I'm still a little nervous about.
For sure.
But like we have a wall around our property. There's an 8-foot masonry wall. Like you're and
strong swimmers.
And and glass everywhere. So like I can see the pool if there's a problem.
Yeah.
So and you're together, but I was like,
so do they not normally go play in the backyard on their own?
No.
Okay, that milestone has to happen too.
Well,
but like I totally get it, and I've had this realization too on a couple things, like Brighton washing her hair.
Yeah, like wash your hair.
Like Heath and I got into it about this because he was like, "Well, I've got to do both girls' baths," and I was like, "Brighton is 8. Like you don't need to do her bath." But then
Jacob showers by himself.
I was like, it's
hard. And frankly, Hudson needs to
for girls to like get all the shampoo and conditioner out of long hair. Yeah. So that he was like, she doesn't get all the shampoo out. I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, we have to start training this.
Right.
We have to start this.
She's going to be 14 and we're going to be bathing her.
Yeah. And then he blow dries her hair and we call it like she's getting a blowout.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So playing in the yard by yourself, picking out your own clothes, like we're not so like riding bikes, for example. So they ride bikes in the alley behind our house. Well, there are cars in the alley. There's not a lot of cars, but there's cars. So I'm not comfortable yet being like, go ride your bike in the alley.
I mean,
although I feel like at this point, like
this is hard because we are both going to enable each other on this because I'm going to be like, you're right. They shouldn't be in the alley. And then they will be 14 and like our kids won't be able to do anything because I tend to lean toward the outside of the house things, just totally smothering them.
Yes.
So I am not going to help you get out of that.
Right.
But they can pick out their clothes, I guess.
I'm thinking about like car accident, abduction, like, I don't know, alien intervention.
I mean, for sure. The rapture.
Something.
Well, our kids are all angels.
Something. Right. Like I
think that here's the other thing too, is like, I don't know. What if something happens?
Right. What if something happens?
It is. It's just really scary. I think we have to start giving them more independent things inside the house, I guess. What can your kids do?
Well, so here's an example. So we had back to school night or open house night the other day at school. And we got there early.
Wait, middle of the year?
Open house, yeah.
Open house.
Like you go.
Been open.
Like you go.
Just like a mid-year check-in.
Well, like you go and like there's the art show and you pick up their art and you go to their classroom and they're like, these are the 10 things I've been working on. And like they show you all their work and like you go to the music room and you go to like it's an open house. Anybody can go anywhere, right? So we got there early. They usually go to aftercare, but because I had taken them to the pediatrician, I picked them up early from school. So we got there and I'm parked in the front of the building. Have you been to our school?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we were parked right outside the front door and they were like, oh, can we go play on the playground, which is back toward HP Village, right? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, I'm going to sit in the car. Like, I'm cool with you running a block essentially and going on the playground. Like, I'm okay with that. Because you're together, am I a little nervous that like something could happen between here and there? Sure. But also like you're 9 and 7.
I know. How do they develop street smarts if we're so paranoid?
I don't know.
I don't know either because I certainly don't want to find out. Brighton plays when we go back to Idaho. She plays with the neighborhood kids there because it's just a different type of neighborhood.
Yes.
Where like there's all these neighborhood. And I feel like honestly, those kids are so street smart. They just are. They're always riding their bikes and they're parking things and nobody's getting hurt and they're climbing on things. And I'm always like hyperventilating thinking like my kid she doesn't do this at home.
But don't you also feel like when you're there, and maybe it's because you're in a strange place, but it's oddly somehow safer. And maybe it's because it's your parents' neighborhood. There's also that innate sense of like, this is a safe place.
Yeah. And I grew up there. I think it's just the children she's around are used to that lifestyle.
Like we see kids driving down that relatively busy street we live off of, right? From our block to school, which is a couple of miles. I mean, it's a couple of miles to get to school down a relatively busy street.
True.
I don't see a point at which I'm like, okay, hop on your bike.
I know, me neither. But then what happens when they all of a sudden move out? and then just everything's on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about, I'm literally not judging this for you. I'm like, I cannot help you here because I am so just paranoid and like want to see everything and want to do everything. The other thing you brought up was aftercare. And I was thinking about this with Brighton as well. Not necessarily aftercare, but just after school activities. It's like so much of their lives are programmed and planned and scheduled, as opposed to some of the kids, for example, in my parents' neighborhood that are homeschooled or just have like a more fluid schedule or more siblings. So their parents can't be like, they're not at a place all the time. Sometimes they're just home and their parents are cooking dinner. And that's different for like city kids.
Yeah.
They're in things. They're either in an after school program or with like an adult or a babysitter or grandparent or something like that. They're not just home with their parents. Somebody.
Yeah. I mean, we, again, other children that are the same age, mostly of Jacob, starting to ride bikes to school. Their parents will say, well, I follow them the first few times. They don't know it, but I do. Or they'll say, hey, I'm going to follow you, but you cannot ask me any questions or for directions or whatever.
That's good.
Like I'm going to follow you just to make sure you're safe, but like you've got to figure it out on your own, and it's also, we live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of kids.
And everybody's watching out.
People are cognizant during during like drop off. Well, I'll tell you what, a couple of weeks ago, we got a note on our group me from one of the moms. And she was like, my son and his buddy were supposed to be home an hour and a half ago. We don't know where they are. And I will say the entire grade was like, we're getting in our cars and we're driving the neighborhood looking for these kids. And ultimately they were found, but it was a tense hour or two.
That gives me goosebumps. That's exactly why, like...
Yes.
Oh, it's so hard. So along those lines, I was actually going to ask you this today, so I'm glad we're on this topic. Do the kids have homework, both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you look at their homework? What, did you see me post about this?
No.
Or do you guys talk about this? Okay.
Okay. So one of them does his homework before he gets home, and I have no idea.
Don't need to look at it.
I don't look at it. I don't look at it when it gets graded. I'm assuming it's like ratings, right? Like if they're really good, I'm assuming you'll tell me. And if they're really bad, I'm assuming you'll tell me.
So true.
You know what I mean?
Hearing nothing is just like, you still have a job.
Everything's good, right? Like Raul is always like, did you see our ratings last night? And I'm like, no. Like they must have been good because you're saying something. And if they're bad, you'll also tell me. But like, I'm not invested one way or the other. I don't get it. Now, if I got a bonus based on them, I might be a little bit more invested.
Those were the days, weren't they?
Hudson does his homework. So they get a month worth of homework at the beginning of the month. So it's like a big packet grid.
Oh, so
and you can do it in any order.
That's
you can
great.
do it or whatever. And we always start at the beginning of the month with the best of intentions. And it is, and it's not 5 nights a week, it's 4 nights a week. So there's some wiggle room there, right? Like this one for March has a week off for spring break. And we got into the groove of, okay, on Sundays, we're going to sit down and we're going to knock out.
And we're going to do 4 days worth of homework.
2 or 3 of these, right? I was trying to like convey to my mother-in-law, like, hey, when they get home, he needs to do homework. Like you were a teacher, like perhaps this might be a fun activity for you.
Fun for her.
Like, but I feel like if you're a teacher, it would be, right? So for him, I sit with his homework because I sit with him and do it, right? And his is a little like Jacob's always looking for more homework.
Yeah.
Whereas Hudson is like, it's easy ones first, right? Like he looks through all of them. His favorite thing to do is cross them off. Like that's,
cute.
But like this month I was like, hey buddy, like let's, so we got to after we start and I was like, what if we finish this before spring break and don't even have anything to worry about? And he was like, wow, like, okay. So we had done a bunch and then he's also a bad negotiator. I'd be like, buddy, just do 1 or 2. He's like, how about 4? I'm like, 4 is great. Like he doesn't,
he's so cute.
He doesn't get the art of negotiation yet.
Love.
So I'm solid there. And this last time we sat down and we were going to do like, because I'll be like, oh, here's like a couple of easy ones, which I don't really feel like counting. And then we'll do a couple of harder ones that involve more like writing and like, cognitive, abilities. And we got to it and he was like, okay, great, we're done. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you know what? There's just 1 more. Like if you do 1 more, we are done. Like I will sign this and you will hand it in tomorrow. And he was like, let's do it. And he was so excited. And we like walked into school, like like a proud peacock the next day because he was going to be the first one with his homework done and whatnot. So the long way to answer your question is, for one of them, no. For the other one, like we went to biography day at school recently, and Jacob was Benjamin Franklin and did his little speech. And unbeknownst to me, like I thought you did that like as a class project. Like apparently other kids, like their parents sat down and wrote their speech with them. We did not.
But Jacob just did his speech and then he did it.
Right.
Well, that's great. I think that's probably the goal.
That was that. But he's also
each kid needs a different amount of help.
Right. Yeah. So, but I will say when Jacob was in first grade and had that same homework grid, it was also the same kind of like, hey, buddy, like if we do one a night, you get Fridays off and it's one a night. And we would start strong. And then 2 weeks in, I'm like, have you done any homework? And I'd be like, nope. I'm like, okay, we have 10 left.
So he's gotten more motivated to do his homework as he's gotten older.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. Well, in second grade, they didn't have homework. In third grade, they have it again. And he has tag homework, which he loves. Like he's got math homework, which he loves.
VIP homework.
Right.
Heck yeah.
I mean, he's all over. He's so excited about the idea that he's doing math homework. So
theirs is optional, the extra. There's like the regular homework and then there's the bonus homework, which I'm sure if Jacob was in school with Brighton, he would be like jumping at the bonus homework. Yeah. Brighton looks at it. And it's usually math, yes. Yeah. Brighton will look at it, and if she's like, oh, I think I can nail this and like impress some people, then she does it. And if it seems a little bit like, I haven't read this before, then she's like, nah, let's skip it. Mm-hmm. Which I'm like, I'm totally extra credit person.
I'm shocked.
I know, weird. I'm always like, I have to just restrain myself because I'm like, Jenny, what do you care? Like, what do you like? Literally, what does it matter if she turns that in?
Do you? Well, because it's a reflection of you as a parent.
Yeah. So I don't, but she doesn't. And then if her teachers are listening, sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. We had done it sort of like I kind of like with Jacob, like she always did it, and it was always. Correct. I mean, look, we're talking about, primer, first grade, second grade. It's not like we're talking about calculus, like high school or something. So it's pretty easy by and large. So pretty easy. She would just do it. But this year she joined Homework Club at school, which is an after school program where you do it once a week and it's an hour and you just can do however much homework. Well, she always finishes it in Homework Club. And then I realized she was just turning it in like straight from Homework Club, as opposed to coming home. And then I just never saw it for like a whole semester. I never saw what she was doing.
And how did she do?
Oh, great. But I just felt like a disconnect in terms of what she was learning. And it just made me think a part of the homework is you being engaged in what your child's learning, maybe, because then she brought up, so we're like, what, 2/3 of the year in, and I haven't really looked at any homework. And she was like, yeah, math's getting really hard. I actually was totally confused on the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, what's that? Oh my gosh. And I just had this sort of like collapse of, I have no idea what you're talking about and have not been monitoring your homework. And then like occasionally she'll miss something, but then I was thinking, surely the teacher's going over this with her, or when they miss something on their homework, is that since it's homework, I'm supposed to go over it with her.
Well, here's the good news. We've identified at least one space where you're not a helicopter parent.
Thank you.
Homework.
Thank you.
So A+ for you.
I would thank you. I'll take that A+ and hope to get extra credit.
But no, I get what you're saying, because then the other part of that too is you don't want them to get too far down the road. And now you're like, well, 6th grade math, I can't even do because I didn't sit in with you this entire time. And now I'm unable to help you.
Yeah. Oh, it would be much earlier than 6th grade. You're giving me way too much credit. Oh, which, speaking of, the episode that we did with the
tutor
has gotten a ton of feedback.
Yeah.
It was so interesting to hear from my girlfriends speaking about SAT prep, because that was like our era's thing, SAT, ACT. Did you prep for SAT?
SAT, I took what was it called? I forget what it was called, but yes, everybody went to the same SAT prep place. There was like one that
and
everybody
was it
went
like,
to.
You went
honestly, like you went
or once,
it's a foggy memory. Like you went and like you took practice tests, and I don't really. And then they give you like flashcards that I never took the plastic off of.
Good use of money there. No BLOs.
Like like just like Jacob and Hudson, my sister and I were very much the same way. Like she was like a flashcards plastic off. She was a much better student than I was. I would regularly get feedback like Steven needs to apply himself more. Like he's a smart kid, but like he needs to apply himself.
But it's like you just had to find the thing that you wanted to apply yourself
Correct.
to, because you apply yourself vigorously.
Wholeheartedly now.
There's a lot of applying happening.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff like that. Like I took the SATs essentially raw, right?
And then did you do ACT?
Yes, because I went to grad school. But honestly, that too, I didn't do any sort of prep or anything. I was just like, okay, well, let's take the test.
My Dallas gal pals, even back then, and a lot of them are a little younger than me, but not maybe only by like 5 years or 6 years. They did full SAT prep. One of them received an SAT prep course as a Christmas present.
Oh.
So it's interesting. I think it just sort of like keyed me into the legacy of the way learning can work sometimes around here,
but don't you think
which is a little bit different.
But that's across the board with everything. Like I
didn't do a prep course. Like I asked my mom, I told the girls, I think we just like took it. And then if it went really badly, then just like,
maybe you did. Right.
No, you just like tried to sleep more and maybe like ate a bagel. Right. Or just like had positive vibes. Like,
here's a banana. Good luck.
I think my mom was like, no, you killed it. You did great on the SAT. I think ACT I did not, but then that was not required.
But again, think about that as training children as a culture has changed since you and I were kids, right? Much like we didn't take SAT prep courses, as intensely as others. We also didn't have private coaches in second grade so you could be the best lacrosse player or the best football player or the best basketball. I mean, the number of children that I know that are 7 years old who have private coaches. And again, I fully am the first to own that we live in a certain neighborhood where that's kind of the norm, but it's way out of control, like at this point.
Is there a thing where if one of the boys showed some aptitude in a particular area where you'd say, man, I think I would get them a coach or tutor or a
yes, absolutely.
thing.
Well, look at us this is a terrible example, but it's our example. Like Hudson had a real natural affinity for magic. So we started hiring a magician to come to the house and tutor him. Like, right? I mean, I'm using the wrong language, but you know what I'm saying? Well, they always say, like, if your kid is great at math and terrible at tennis, like, don't get him a tennis coach, get him a math tutor.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they love.
Yeah.
Like, don't try and make them better at the thing that they're not great at. Like, try and feed the one that they love.
Right. Don't just try to make them baseline average at the thing.
At everything.
Yeah, at everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we start basketball today. Both kids. We're a sports family now. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't wait to hear about your upcoming weekend plans.
Yeah. Sports.
Are you going to have, is it YMCA? Is it going to be the Mavericks jersey?
It's not YMCA.
Oh, he's going elite on us.
No. I said to the coach, I was like, listen, here's the situation. We are not raising D1 athletes. One of them is very smart and they're both relatively handsome.
Both dads are very handsome and tall.
I'm hoping that we have that to lean into, but I also feel like they should play a sport. And they're going to be on get this.
So you're going to be on the same team?
Same team.
Wait.
One drop off, one pickup. Practices twice a week. We're going to opt for once a week.
Stop. You can't opt out of this.
No, we have to. Because here's the thing.
Oh my gosh.
Practice. Okay. You know my husband.
Oh, I do.
Practice is on Tuesdays from 6 to 7.
Okay.
Which to him,
it's just blasphemy.
It may as well be 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. I mean,
and Wednesdays from 5 to 6.
So you're going Wednesdays.
Wednesdays from 5
and you're
to 6.
Pissed about it because it goes till 6.
I'm good. I'm fine. Like I'm like Chick-fil-A drive-through in the car. Like this is life for most human beings. Right?
I do think that that's actually really great on the late sports nights. I love the excuse to drive through.
And then games, according to the coach, are if we have enough kids who show interest, we play games on Saturdays. I'm like, this sounds like the perfect team for our children. Because again, we are past the point in a rec league or a YMCA league or where you're going just to see if you like it. Like these kids are already invested in being the best with coaches and tutors.
But so then are the teammates invested in being the best? Or this is we're not invested.
This is like the bad news bears.
This is the B team.
This is the
that takes the younger siblings.
Right. Like the fact that you're 7 and 9 and on the same team tells you everything you need to know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I could talk about this forever. I know we're out of time, but I am so excited. I kind of want to come to a game.
You should.
Okay.
You should. I will report back. By the way, just before we go, I was showing them the video of Brighton doing her flyer runs, and they were like, she was like an Olympian. They were so excited about that.
That's because I'm a psychopath and she has a private coach.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Hey, we wanted to remind you that we drop a new episode every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. on your favorite podcast platform. So do click like and subscribe so we can get those numbers going. You can also watch us on video on YouTube or follow us mostly on Instagram, some Facebook, right?
Yeah.
If you do nothing else today, go find yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for. We'll see you soon.